Hey nerds, and welcome to Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Theories and Conspiracies. I'm Brian from Good Nerd Bad Nerd. So, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is back. All the Comforts of Home, I'm pretty sure was the title of this episode. And this was a great episode to kick things off. We get to see where the team is. They've got a new base of operations. They've got the Zephyr back. Things are starting to kind of look up for them, and they know they've got a mission right now. They have to prevent that future from happening. So, where does that leave us? Well, we get to meet a few new characters this week. Director Stoner, who is played by the amazing Patrick Warburton, and Director Stoner actually does come from the comics. He was the head of S.H.I.E.L.D. before Nick Fury. His initial meeting with Nick Fury disobeyed some orders and punched him, and that got Nick Fury thrown in jail. But Stoner is from the comics. Fury actually takes over for Director Stoner after he was assassinated by Hydra. So that's how that change of power happened in that regard. So I'm actually really excited to see more of this character, because anytime Patrick Warburton's in a show or on TV, he's great. Everything he does is fantastic. So that was that. The other thing, we meet a second recorder. We had Enoch, and Enoch is probably somewhere around right now. He's probably with Robin, protecting her, keeping an eye on her. So we might see him pop up again, even though he's destroyed in the future. But Noah is the new one we meet. And the interesting thing here is the biblical names. If you're familiar with the Old Testament Bible, both of these guys have biblical names. So the question, and maybe it's going to come up, I'm sure someone is going to reference that they both had these names, but were the biblical stories in the Marvel Universe based on these characters? Were they interacting with people in some way? Did Noah, under Enoch's advice, build the ark to save people because of this, the whole, we don't interfere unless we interfere kind of a thing? It'll be interesting to find out why they have those two names, because we know they've been around for thousands of years. So it is possible that they were interacting with humanity at that point, and the biblical stories that their names seem to come from, actually, they were involved in those moments. So what do you guys think about that? Because I think that could be a pretty interesting aspect to these characters, given the nature of who they are and how old they are. Next, we meet the real villain for this week, and then everything that surrounded her. And this was Ruby. We don't know much about her. Is she inhuman? Is she a robot? What is she? Because she's not a normal human. That's clearly obvious. The fact that she's being locked in a vault, and that vault is just made to look like a room, there's something going on here. I kind of feel like she's an android of some sort, and that part of the programming was she was, given this daughter relationship to her mother, but in reality, she can't be human. I mean, unless she is an inhuman, but I have a hard time with that. Now, her character is hunting the team. She really has it out for Daisy. It's like this weird kind of fan worship, yet she wants to kill her. It's hard to say what's going on, but she uses this chakram she has and tries to, in order to help try and lure Daisy out, she takes off Yo-Yo's arms. And this is a reference to the comic. Basically the same method that we see here happened in the comics. Yo-Yo was running at top speed, and in the comics, it wasn't Ruby, obviously, it was the Gorgon, and he sliced off her arms when she was moving at her speed, and it freaked everyone out on the team. How could anyone see her when she's moving that fast? All that kind of stuff. And that's what Ruby did. And so that's another reason why it seems impossible that she is anything normal. Now, I should say, in the comics, Yo-Yo does get some robotic arms back. So I really strongly feel that we're going to see that Coulson's got a robot hand. It'd make perfect sense for them to give some to Yo-Yo, and they've got a base of operations. They're doing the surgery. I think it's just a matter of time, but we will definitely have to see how that pans out. Now, an interesting thing, and this was based on an interview with the actress who plays Ruby, Dove Cameron, I believe her name is. She implied that the weapons she has are made of vibranium. She didn't know all the terminology and didn't exactly say that, but she said they're designed like Captain America's shield and they're made out of the same stuff. So it's very possible that those are vibranium-based weapons, and so that's just supposed to be a little tie-in to the wider MCU and specifically Wakanda and the Black Panther. But outside of that, I don't know who she could be from the comics or if she's an original character. We don't have enough information about her yet. But what did you guys think? Oh, and then lastly, Deke is in the modern world. I loved that sequence. I love that he gets drunk on Zima. I love that he's hugging a tree and the lady thinks he's on drugs. That was great. And the way for him arriving in the future made sense to me. That piece of the stone, when the entire stone melted, it melted too and just pulled him through. I totally buy that. I'm good with that. I have absolutely no problems with how they brought him to the modern world. So then the last question is the other obelisks. We see the time obelisk, but we've got two others that we don't know what do. So we've had the time obelisk, we've had the space obelisk. Are these kind of references to other, like, is it possible the Kree were trying to create their own Infinity Stones? I think that's my question. We've had time and space. We know there are two more right there. Is it possible we have mind and maybe not soul, but power? What do you guys think the other two stones are? And what's the end game for that? And are they now unleashed because of that explosion that destroyed Noah? Let me know your thoughts, and don't forget to check out my other videos. Also, if you want to start your day off with the morning news, I'm doing a streaming show on the UpLive app. It's a streaming app that you can get for free through the iTunes or Android store. And every morning I stream the latest morning news, everything that dropped in the previous 24 hours, I bring that to you, the newest trailers, the newest press releases, all that. So join me on UpLive every morning about 8:45 for about an hour, hour and a half. So until next time, guys, I'm Brian from Good Nerd, Bad Nerd. This has been Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Theories and Conspiracies.